Fuck's sake. And God said, "Let there be light."
Fucking hell, you smoke a lot.
I try my best.
It'll be the death of you one day.
Well, I'd much rather be the death of me than let someone else do the honors.
Cheerful thought. But with no doors.
Or windows.
In a box. 20 feet tall, 30 feet wide at a rate of how many per day?
40.
Pardon?
40!
Right! 40 per day. 6 cubic feet of air each. That would give us...
1 hour before we suffocate.
We'd be the death of each other.
You know, a cigarette takes around 3 minutes to smoke. But it also robs 3 minutes from the end of your life. I used to hope that if I smoked enough, death and I could meet in the middle on equal terms.
Here we are.
But considering how much you pay for your time, it'd be the chess that kills you, not the smoke.
That's a lot to stake on a single game of chess.
A chess player may offer the sacrifice of a pawn or even a piece.
A mathematician would throw the whole game. Party?
Who else?
It's an awful lot to stake on a single proof.
Although personally, I would never die for my beliefs.
You never know, I might be wrong. Every time this comes up, it plays out the same. You know, it isn't the second-hand smoke. It's the second-hand ideas. I would just kill for something new.
Wouldn't we all?
You know, speaking of something new,
Fire on.
there's always the small but never negligible chance that your lighter just might not light.
What, you mean if it's out of juice?
No. As in, if all the atoms in your lighter just conspire together and refuse to burn. I mean, in your case, it would be for the best.
You know, that sounds an awful lot like a miracle. Not that you believe in those, of course.
It just seemed far too much to believe in them.
Oh, well, I don't think they would politely ask you to believe in them before happening. They don't care. What do you think?
I'd be more than willing to believe one if I saw one. To be fair.
You wouldn't believe a miracle if it fell from the sky and landed on you.
It's all smoke and mirrors. You know it. Besides, you're one to talk. Remember at maths company you made that kid cry because he tried to turn a napkin into a bird?
Ah, but there's a difference. I don't like magicians. You are far more cruel. You don't believe in them.
Well, I'll never trust someone whose job it is to deceive. Besides, he has 19 years, 1 month, 17 days.
And 6 hours.
Since...
Yes, I know. What's your point?
The point is, we've had ages for miracles to happen and none has. Surely it was going to happen. Would have happened by now.
Guess we'll just have to keep waiting to find out. Fuck all else to do.
Aren't miracles supposed to be auspicious, though?
What do you mean?
Well, falling on special anniversaries, like elixirs and full moons and all that sort of crap.
Well, there's not much astrology in here. No doors or windows. Can't remember the last time I saw the sun. Maybe there's something special about the amount of time we've been here for?
Nothing, as far as I'm aware. Besides, I do believe in numerology. You can prove almost anything you like with it.
Go on.
Wow. Take your name. Emmy Bourbaki. There are, including the space, 13 characters in that. 13 is unlucky, therefore you are an unlucky person.
Explains a lot.
But our timing means nothing. 19 years. World first. Veritably boring number.
No such thing.
No?
Well, Hardy said his protege, Ramanujan, saw every number as a personal friend.
Absolute bollocks.
Surely there's so many interesting things to go around that every number has to have some sort of Consolation prize.
That's not proof, is it?
Okay then. Suppose we had boring numbers. Find the smallest one.
Okay.
Then it would be interesting.
What?
As the world's smallest boring number. Contradiction!
You and your proofs of contradiction. Now that will be the death of me.
Breaking news. Local man found dead by contradictions.
Internal organs were twisted into Mobius strips.
A crack team of mathematicians were taken to the scene.
There was a twist.
And lo and behold, the murder was impossible.
He was declared dead tomorrow.
We're being pushed down an Escher staircase.
Or up, depending on your point of view.
And the murderer was sentenced to 3 years inside a Klein bottle.
You know, on second thoughts, this whole proof malarkey hardly seems fair on me.
Why not? Even the impossible deserves proof.
You have nothing to prove, assuming you're correct.
Which I am.
You win as soon as we see a miracle.
So what's the problem?
Because I can never win. The terms are set for you. However long we wait, we could always just have to wait a little longer.
Proof versus counterexample.
Well, I mean, much rather be right and never know it than be wrong at certain of it.
Like that mathematician would offer $1,000 for a proof.
Kick in the shins for a counterexample.
Nevertheless, let's start with our conjecture.
Right. Colombo method. First, we find what we need to show. Just don't know how to prove it.
Oh, proving it's the easy part. Let's focus on the question.
Conjecture. There is no such thing as a miracle.
First, we need to define a miracle.
Surely that's obvious.
Obvious is the most dangerous word in mathematics.
Well then, must be trivial.
Trivial is the other most dangerous word in mathematics.
Pedantry is a curse. Why do we need to define it when we all know what it is?
Because mathematics is the art of reducing every idea to the self-evident, so that any fool, even a lawyer, could understand it. And calling something obvious is just sleight of hand. You're cheating the audience, magicking the proof away. Remember, the right answer begins where the right question ends.
So, there's no way to get to the right answer from the wrong question then?
Of course not. You know the saying, the road to hell is paved with false proofs.
Not sure that's how it goes.
Well, it's obvious. Hell is other people. Other people are probably human. To be human is to err. Quod erat demonstrandum. And, believe it or not, it is still your move. And no circular conversation will be your salvation. Hey. Have you ever noticed that some things just sound better in one order over the other? Like knife, fork, brick, mortar, or I don't know. Bourbaki, Barnett really rolls off the tongue, don't you think?
Well, considering my name comes first in the alphabet, perhaps Barnett Bourbaki is more apt.
Well, I did discover it
By a
first.
fraction of a second.
It still
But does
counts.
it really matter?
Of course it matters. We can't both win. It has to be one of us. Me or you.
But you're a terrible winner.
And I'm a sore loser too. I wasn't just awful all round. Regardless, we have to come to a conclusion provided we have enough time.
Return!
Did you hear that?
You and your bloody distraction.
No, be quiet for a second.
What are you doing?
Shh. Just listening out for something. If you are incredibly quiet and sit perfectly still, you can hear your own vital signs. Your heartbeat pounding away at the bottom and your nerves whirring away at the top.
Wait. So, you mean you can hear yourself think?
Exactly. But there is no silence whilst you're consciously able to listen. I remember the longest someone managed to laugh, completely alone with the sound of themselves. It's 45 minutes. It's quite hard to live with your body when you spend so long living against it.
Hold on.
What?
I can't hear my pulse.
What? Let me try. Nothing. I never noticed that.
Well, I guess with being,
Yes, I'm very much aware. Now can you please stop whispering?
Fine by me. I mean, we could compromise. Call it something else, for example.
What, and lose both our names to history? Fat chance!
There's no chance it could have been disproven, is there?
No, it's impossible!
Plausible!
Invincible!
Indefatigable!
Good! That's settled then.
Perhaps it doesn't matter.
What are you talking about? This is the only thing we have to our names. The only thing we'll be remembered for. Of course it matters. Mathematics is like religion. Only mathematicians believe in higher powers.
Hardy?
Hardly. In fact, it's yours truly.
Very nifty. If only I had a pen and paper and I could just jot those little bon mots down.
Paper or no paper, it's still your go.
I'm thinking. Right, there. But, I wish I'd thought of that. Hang on, can I go back on that?
Absolutely fucking not. We sunk 19 years, 1 month, 17 days, and 6 hours into this. I'm not going back on anything now.
You bear one hell of a grudge.
I bear one hell of a grudge. You fucking started it. You just agreed to put my name first at the top of the paper. None of this would have... Christ, give me a second.
Don't set the pieces on fire.
Maybe if I did, who knows? They'd consider that a miracle, like some kind of Lilliputian Pentecost. We'd be gods to them. It could be fun.
Spontaneous combustion. God's favourite magic trick. Well, you know all about that, wouldn't you?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Come on. How can someone as logical as you smoke in a petrol station and call what happened spontaneous combustion? You know as well as I do that any god that's got the time to stoop to revival magic tricks for humans has got far better things to do.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. God certainly has a sense of humor. It's his calling card.
Example?
A friend of mine, who is so terrified of God that every time he set sail, would send a message claiming he had solved the Riemann hypothesis to trick God into sparing his life.
And what happened to him?
He died in a boating accident.
How unfortunate.
Death has a terrible habit of catching up to people.
I'm so painfully aware. Imagine if he had solved it, though.
Why do you think God sank the ship?
Wow. If you're bored, it probably provides some kind of comedy up there. Watching us down here, trying to work it out for ourselves, getting closer and closer to the answer until, boom, struck down.
Those the gods wish to destroy, they first drive mad. Though I suppose we got it the other way around. Speaking of madness, remember Daniel?
Oh, how could I forget?
When he moved in, he insisted we couldn't fit this exact table through the door.
Well, suppose you're going to tell me that this table was a miracle.
Maybe if we analyzed miracles less, more of them would happen.
I don't follow.
For example, how can we just appear here and we've never once thought about it?
Could just have forgotten. Human error.
What about this pack of cigarettes and how it's not once gone empty? Why haven't we questioned that?
That one just can't explain.
Perhaps time is cyclical.
But if time is cyclical, then surely we've been here before.
Oh, you're just coming down with deja vu. It'll pass.
Didn't you say that to me yesterday?
Well, there are only finitely many things we could say in an infinite amount of time.
Stands to reason we'd eventually start repeating ourselves.
But we'd be bound to forget some of it, surely.
So that's how marriage works.
Wouldn't it be terribly dull to know everything before it happened? To never be surprised again?
Oh, for one, wouldn't it mean we know how this chess game was going to end?
Oh, I see clearly now. Black to win. Mate it in 62. White blunders in 3 moves time, losing the game. I see a tall stranger in your future. And it's your move.
Well, if time is cyclical, then being dead wouldn't stop you from dying again. Or infinitely many times, so long as we have time to kill.
Now you can't pretend you didn't hear that.
I think I am beginning to hear things. Must be all this time in one room, driving me crazy.
If you'd rather question your sanity, then so be it. But having an infinite amount of time is wild. I mean, we could do anything.
I could do a PhD.
We don't have that long.
Or we could attempt to solve the Riemann hypothesis. That could be fun.
I have a better idea.
Go on.
We sit here and argue until we agree on the name of this damned theorem, or we go mad. Either way, we still have an infinite amount of time to do whatever we wanted.
Still need something to pass the time.
Reminds me of a friend of mine.
Not another one.
Who is a magician. Fucking terrible. As soon as he walked on stage, you could see the doves in his pockets and scarves up his sleeves. But he kept doing magic. Kept practicing his tablecloth tricks. Just hoping, waiting for the real deal. The kind of magic you just can't quite explain. He waited, and waited, and then one day, he got out of bed, and simply...
He simply what? What happened? Emmy! Emmy, where the fuck are you? It's just a story without a good ending, but not one without any ending at all. Oh, should we just come back
and finish what she started? You could never finish anything for yourself, though, could you?
Huh? How? What the ever-loving... Wait. Is that you? Daniel?
Well, I go by Professor Bernoulli now, but yeah.
Where are you?
I'm not over there, am I?
No.
Well, then I must be over here! Oh! I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting. I don't buy it. Oh, not anymore, anyway.
Christ! They scared me to death!
Charmed. Chess, is it?
Take a pun.
And my go?
Believe so.
Oh, I have the most wonderful move!
Well then, play it!
It's for a different game, unfortunately.
Still mad as ever, I see.
Never lost it. Although, I suppose I never really had it. On that topic, where are we?
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Let's see. Let's say good news for starters, bad news for main course. Wow.
The good news is we've got plenty of time to relax with this chess game.
Lovely! And what about that news?
Well, that's because we're both dead.
Go again.
We're both dead. Whatever took you so long to get here?
I'm really sorry, but what?
Relax. You look like you've seen a ghost. Besides, it could have been worse.
How the fuck can it be worse than being dead?
Well, we could be playing Risk.
And how long are we here for?
Forever. Or almost.
Oh, you get less time for mass murder. Oh, and where exactly are we?
I'm not entirely sure. No doors, windows. Either we want to keep something in, or something out. Some kind of cosmic waiting room, though we're not exactly sure what we're waiting for. And neither of us is exactly sure.
Us. You said us. Is there somebody else in it?
Myself and Emmy.
Emmy? As in Emily Bourbaki? Emmy's here too.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do in a past life to deserve this?
Well, our guess is it could be purgatory. Or perhaps heaven.
Heaven? How the fuck can it be heaven if you're sitting opposite me? Some kind of dream or something. Ow, what the fuck was that for?
Oh, well, now we know for certain you're not dreaming.
Oh, thanks.
Don't mention it.
Okay, you make a fucking point!
That's all for good measure. Dreams of intrigues. Pesky bastards.
Oh, you just wanted to do that.
You got me.
Well, tell me, what happened? How did I die? Did you see it all unravel from up or down? Yeah.
Believe me, even if I could, I don't think I'd want to watch. We can work it out backwards, though. We've got plenty of time, and we know what we have to prove. Theorem. Professor Bernoulli is as dead as a fucking doornail.
That's the only way.
Run me all through it, then. We need all our premises to start off with.
Well, I was born in a village south of Plymouth in
Not
1963.
everything.
Well, you know as well as me that the end is decided from the beginning.
Start from the end and work backwards. Where was the last place you remember?
Well, I'm not going to like it.
Be honest, there's no one else here.
Okay. I was in the bathroom.
Carry on.
And then I went down the stairs, backwards, naturally, and I sat down and unate my dinner, prawn biryani, and unwatched the television. And before, this is bloody hopeless.
Proof's in the pudding.
Let's put it in the proof.
Oh, that's food for thought.
That's important food.
God, I'm starving.
Oh my god! What? The prawn biryani!
Is it off?
Off to where?
Just off. Off what? It went bad.
It must have expired!
What? You or the curry?
Oh, go on! Oh, that reminds me. What was it like to have never grown up?
Well, I could say the same about you.
Touché. Well, at least it was quick for you. You know, for a plane to be hit by a meteorite. I mean, you were dead before you knew what was going on. Although, I suppose it's sad you didn't get your frequent flyer miles.
Delightful.
Oh, why the long face? Did someone get you down?
Shut up.
Would you look at that?
Look at what?
Lucky strike!
Fuck off.
Oh, come on, look on the bright side. I could have easily prevented my death. I could have just ordered pizza or something. No one ever dies from pizza, unless it falls from the sky and lands on you. I mean, you would have had to redirect a meteorite.
Well, I suppose that's a silver lining.
No, but seriously, doesn't that ever eat you up? The last moments you could have survived, the sum of all the tiny decisions you could have made, and all the alternate histories where you could have... Does that ever kill you? I never saw mine coming. I mean, look at the three of us. The three geometers. I mean, we even have a motto. Do you remember the motto? Let no one ignorant of geometry enter. I was the wild one. Who knew what was in store for me? And yet, you were smited out of the sky by a piece of stardust hurled from space, and your best friend,
My ex-wife?
literally bursts into flames, and all I get is fucking food poisoning. I mean, that's from a fucking bargain bin of Grim Reaper and Coke. What would it take for you to believe in miracles and not that? What, for the water to turn into wine and flow uphill?
Well, seeing you has come close to convincing me.
Anyway, what's all this chess?
Unfinished business.
Oh, you know all about that, wouldn't you? What happens to the winner?
Well, not entirely sure. All we know is that when the game ends, something happens. I think.
That's simple enough. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out. I've just got an idea. And I've just forgotten that idea. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. Just water under the bridge.
Well, that's just delightful, because it really meant an awful lot to me.
Come on then, put me out of my misery.
I'm not going to. Got to work it out for yourself. Remember?
Ah, God, you do bear a grudge.
I've had plenty of time to keep it.
Is it about that one time where I showed you that impossible problem at maths camp?
It's a start.
Oh, I remember you worked so hard trying to solve it.
Perfectly well.
Oh, you tried so hard.
That's fine.
But you didn't sleep for 4 days.
That's enough!
Oh, that was priceless.
And I remember every time I would come to you just begging for an answer, and every time you would say,
You have to work it out for yourself.
and remember the answer,
It can't be done.
and remember finding it so funny.
Oh.
So play those fucking mind games with me.
Oh, don't be silly. We were never playing mind games. The games were playing us.
How you love to twist my words.
Well, a twist is better than a tangle. Or let alone a knot. Oh, thank God it's not a knotty knot.
Question. What was the point in that?
But what's the point of a question without a trick? It reminds me of this trick. You are walking through the woods. You see a gorilla. The gorilla is holding a gun. What do you call the gorilla?
I don't know. Not sure. Oh, Professor Daniel Bernoulli springs to mind.
Whatever the fuck it was, it's holding a gun!
Senseless!
Well, senseless or sensibility, it's your move.
Let me think.
Think? Martin, there's no time to think. You must do, my boy.
Six fine.
Oh, bless you.
No, six fine. As in chess.
What does that mean?
It means I'm in the perfect position.
So what's your problem?
I use it as soon as I move.
You can't exactly put it off forever, can you, pal?
Oh, you come to mention it.
The cost of giving good ideas to bad people.
Well, move my queen over. Or play it safe. Advance my pawn structure. Stop it!
What? All right, you don't want my advice. That's fine.
Daniel!
Okay, shut up.
Or just... Daniel!
What? I didn't say anything.
You looked at me like you wanted to!
Have you tried?
Well, actually, that looks perfect, thank you.
Are you 100% positively sure?
Fucking no!
But if you don't know, what do you think?
I think we're thinking the same thing. At least, I think so.
I think we think that we're thinking the same thing, but I don't think we actually think the same thing. What do you think?
I think I don't want to think about this ever again.
What's your move?
Don't know.
Martin!
There's just so many options. What if I choose one I regret? Besides, it looks perfect. Prove it. There's nothing to prove.
Wrong, there's everything to prove, man. Prove yourself.
You will always be a mystery to me.
A mystery wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in an enigma to be precise.
Why do you always talk so much but just say so little?
It's always better to say something than to stay silent.
I just despise people who witter on about nothing. Wittgenstein was right. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must remain silent.
And what is...
Oh, we mean shut the fuck up! Oh, God, running out of time. I've got to do something.
Yes, you do. You have to do something. It's funny. You're always winning the game, but you're always running out of time. Now think. How heavy is your tongue in your mouth? When did you feel your last heartbeat? When did you take your last breath? You're driving down the M25 at 30 miles per hour. The car is travelling at 30 degrees north. What colour is it?
Jesus, you drive me to the nth degree. Just give me time to think. Daniel!
Bang! Ha! Just as I bloody expected! What? After all these years, you would still overthink. A centipede was happy quite, until a toad said in front, "Pray, which leg moves after which?" Which threw her doubts to such a pitch that she fell exhausted in the ditch, not knowing how to run. You've had all the time in the world, and still you haven't changed an inch. It's a funny thing, time. We can bend time. We can make time, and we can use time. We can make time fly when we're having fun, and we can make it go by when we aren't. You spend time, time is money. Or you can give people your time, but all the time, we're really just borrowing time. You can't get your time back. We're always running out of time, unless, of course, you consider the time difference. Or in your case, ignore it! I got you. You sneeze when you overthink. You're allergic. You're coming out in hives.
But you remembered now.
How could I forget old Professor Lomachevsky?
Just to let you all know, the hour change is 1 hour forward. Unless, of course, you are from Scotland, in which case you should change your clocks forward
by 1 hour and 30 years. And you remember on the day of the final exam?
You set my alarm so I wake up an hour later than everyone else.
The gorilla strikes again.
Thanks a bunch.
You should be thanking me. You're the only one who got to sleep in. The exam was delayed anyway.
You're going to stop the clock that's right twice a day.
Unlike your clock, which is right 0 times a day.
Just because you got the right result doesn't mean you did the right thing.
Oh, don't be so sanctimonious. And do you remember when you met me in my dorm?
You told me those pills made you better at geometry. Absolute bollocks.
Well, and you remember how you told everyone until Lomachevsky took them away?
Bloody good. You couldn't do a single exam sober.
And I still beat you every single time.
You beat me? You couldn't solve anything.
I didn't need to.
I'm sorry.
I just needed to do better than you. It reminded me of this joke. 2 men are standing knee-deep in petrol. One says to the other, "I've got 5 matches." To which the other replies, "Well, I have 6. And to which the petrol replies, "Bang!"
It appears there's not much to be said for the world's shortest two-hander.
Wrong again, Martin. It's a 3-hander.
I don't understand.
You forgot to count the match.
How is that a character?
One must always credit good lighting. Without it, it would just be a radio play.
Just stop it with your tricks of the light.
Oh, you know I love my weapons of mass destruction. Come on, why do you always have to be so serious?
You put hundreds and thousands in my bed and forced me to count them.
You count all my sets and squares with all the 89 degrees.
You tore a page out of one of my notebooks but wouldn't tell me where.
Joke's on you. I never did that.
Bastard, could you ever leave anyone alone?
Could you ever be happy without showing someone else out?
Speak for yourself.
I bloody well will. Everything was obvious for you. You wouldn't know a day's work in your
I
life.
still achieved more in 5 years than you would achieve in 50.
You wouldn't know what it's like to grow up to be ordinary. You're just happy you never had to work out that far.
Oh, you take that back.
How can I? You got everything you damn well wanted. Grow up!
I can't! I'm dead! Surprisingly good.
I quite concur. Here's the story. Daniel and Martin both competing for the final place on the Maths Olympiad team. Neither of them can prove to Professor Lobachevsky that they deserve it more than the other, so they argue.
An old, wise Professor Lobachevsky slowly starts to saw the remaining space in half.
What we both wanted.
Neither of us could get.
Kane, me table. I just remembered something else Professor Lobachevsky used to say. If it can't be solved on a napkin...
It doesn't deserve solving. Always one for eloquence. Remember that party at the maths camp?
Oh, Lobachevsky got so drunk. We all got drunk. Oh, and he stood up on the table to give his yearly address, didn't he?
They who can solve the Riemann hypothesis will get anything they desire.
Eternal life, eternal youth, infinite wealth, miracles upon miracles.
But be warned, there is a cost.
What God can give, He can always take away.
So, good riddance. And good luck.
Whoever said mathematics wasn't a spectator sport clearly hasn't seen enough of it.
Remember how we all toasted?
Oh yes, of course, I got up on the table first. To absent friends, fuck 'em.
And then I got up. Here's to us. 'Cause who's like us? Fed few. And they're dead!
I suppose Lobachevsky were right. I mean, the competition is dead.
Take that as a compliment.
In a way, God did us a favour, you know?
In what way?
What do Gauss, Jacobi, Euler, and Euclid all have in common?
Well, they're all great mathematicians? No. They're all German. No, I don't think so. I don't know, I give up.
They're all dead.
Oh, come on!
Think about it. No mathematician was ever great when they were alive. On that topic, how's Emmy?
Still dead.
I thought as much. What have you been talking about?
Well, as a matter of fact, we've been arguing.
Arguing over what?
Remember that paper we published together?
Oh yes, what was it? The Bourbaki Barnett theorem.
I think you mean the Barnett-Bourbaki theorem. Still fighting over whose name should come first. Barnett or Bourbaki?
You're still arguing over that. You call me petty, but however many years doing that. Don't waste of a beautiful thing, man. You only have forever with Emmy. Don't waste it.
Oh. And one more thing.
What?
Check.
Check what, exactly? Not in. Hello? You said check. Usually check what? What are you checking? Check what?
Check this.
Emmy!
God, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Well, 19 years, 1 month, 17 days and 6 hours, to be exact.
Fashionably late, as always.
Please, I'm fashionable. I'm finally on time. You look just like your old self.
And you just look, well, old.
Never speak ill of the dead. Besides, death changes people.
You know what they say about mathematicians? Over the hill at 40.
Speak for yourself. Over the hill, you're off a cliff.
I can always count on a warm welcome.
Anyways, how are you? It must be pretty rough being, well, you know.
What are you talking about?
You know, you've popped your farm. No, I don't mean that. You've bought your clock. I don't mean that either. You know, how has it been, well, you know, dead and all?
Dead? On the contrary, I've never felt more alive. Now, can we please dispense with the small talk? It was never our forte.
Alright, well, let's move on to the large talk. What do you call an infinite number of economists at the bottom of the ocean? A good...
Oh, hold on, I think I met them.
No, that's not the punchline.
An infinite number of economists. Yeah, they were floating around here for a bit. Let me tell you, they did not find that one funny when I told them.
Sense of humour.
I always wonder what it would be like to be on the inside of a joke.
It wouldn't be very hard to try.
Go on.
Okay. Two mathematicians walk into a game of chess. One says to the other, I think I have found proof for the cure to apathy. To which the other replies,
Oh, who gives a shit?
oh, and there you go. And when the speech ends and the quote begins, we are inside the joke.
Doesn't look much different.
It might look like that from the inside, but trust me, on the outside, everyone's laughing.
That's weird. Like a one-way mirror. God, I can't see anyone. It's the strangest thing. So what happens to the joke when people stop laughing at us?
Well, I don't know. I never really got that far. John, this is chess. Out of thousands of games I can think we can spend eternity playing. Kaplunk, swing ball, count the atoms in the jar. But chess! You know what? I have a magic trick. Look!
Stop it!
What? The usual reception is applause.
Who gives a shit about magic tricks? If I wanted something short and utterly unbelievable, I would just look at our marriage.
I thought we made a good couple.
You always drew out the same gifts for me every Christmas. It was like Groundhog Day.
That's funny, you say that every year.
That's the fucking problem!
Oh, he did all the wrong things for all the right reasons.
And you did the right thing for all the wrong reasons.
See, we made the perfect couple.
I would beg to differ.
Well, at least we can depend on each other to disagree. Agree to disagree?
No.
Just as I expected.
I have a feeling that this resolution is going to take a long time.
Well, we better get to it then. Best of 1,000.
Make that 1,001.
Why do you always have to one up?
You always have to get the last word.
Absolute rubbish.
I knew it. I wager you can't keep your mouth shut for even 1 minute.
You know what's really funny?
I knew it. You really can't stand it when someone else has the last word.
I have no idea how to play chess.
What?
Moves go in, moves come out again, but not once I come close to thinking.
If this is some attempt to psych me out, it isn't going to work.
I mean it. I have no idea how to play this game. But somehow I still manage.
Wait. You mean you don't understand anything?
Exactly.
I suppose your moves are borrowed, much like everything else about you.
Speak for yourself.
What are you talking about?
Suit and tie.
Well, it does have pockets.
Weird obsession with pockets. But anyways, I don't borrow anything.
You liar. You stole from me, you stole from Martin, you stole from anyone who would let you. Remember when you went through my notebooks at university?
Oh, I was just having a look.
Oh, really? You must have looked pretty hard, because 3 pages were missing when I found it!
Well, some people call them dirty tricks. Others call it British politics.
Can't you be serious with me?
Only fools can be serious.
Even that plagiarized!
Anyways, your work wasn't even correct. I had to retract a week after.
Oh, whose fault is that? You don't have a single original letter to your name.
Oh, that's right. Every single letter in my name comes from somewhere else. I never thought of that.
Oh, must be the first original thought you've ever had. I mean, come on, Daniel Bernoulli. What kind of gimmick is that? Naming yourself after another mathematician?
I thought it only fitting to name myself after the greatest mathematician of all time.
He stole his own son's work!
Case in point.
Where's the dignity in that?
There is honor among thieves.
Name one thing you discovered.
As a matter of fact, I managed to solve the Riemann hypothesis.
Fuck off. How?
I'd have to kill you. You already know too much.
Proof by intimidation isn't going to do much here. We're already dead.
I don't think there would be much merit in telling you. I don't think you'd understand this. And even if you did, I wouldn't want to spoil it for you.
Did you really solve it?
I almost did.
Interesting.
I managed to make brilliant progress.
You didn't solve it, though.
Well, no.
Thought not.
Why would you ask the question if you already knew the answer?
Because where's the fun in asking questions if you don't? You still got to answer my question, by the way. Name one thing you discovered for yourself.
Well, they name Bernoulli's principle after me.
What, pray tell, is that?
That nothing is ever named after its original discoverer.
And you actually discovered that?
You did.
You are infuriating!
Oh, don't blame me. Mathematicians have been doing it for centuries. Even Mobius didn't discover the Mobius strip. And you'll want to call me out my unoriginality when you can't speak without using someone else's quote. Can't you ever speak for yourself?
The difference is that I do it with style.
Can't you ever say what you really mean? You always have to talk in signs and symbols.
I can think of several choice symbols right about now.
Or a choice quote. One original thought is worth 1,000 mindless quotings.
Whenever I do it, it's a cheap trick. Whenever you do it, it's paper-worthy.
That's because I always get there first. There's no prize for second place in mathematics, my darling.
You know, I think you...
Did you steal the words right out of your mouth? Yes, I just bloody did that.
I think you misunderstand how this works. First, I wait till my light's on. Then I speak and with...
No!
How fucking dare you!
Oh, you and your dry wit! I knew your fiery temper would get the best of you one day. I lived on while Stu and Martin crashed and burned. As when he crashed, then you burned.
And how did you die exactly? Death by sandwich? A paper cut?
If you must know, it was a bad prawn biryani.
Absolutely brilliant! No wonder you never mentioned it. You know, you always have the habit of leaving me in the dark!
That's because, my darling, leaving you in the dark is one of your greatest assets. It improves your looks substantially.
You're not exactly eye candy either. Reminds me of the star.
Oh, you're trying to bore me to death. That I was saying.
We're also rooting.
Oh, could you just let me finish? Oh my god! Why don't you just tell me you're losing this? You fucking idiot! You can't win everything. I'm supposed to be bad for you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you always have to be such a fucking bitch? What the fuck is that?
Blow your fucking head off!
What is that? What the fuck is that?
This? Oh, this is what happened to the last person who asked that question.
What is it? Where did you get it from?
I believe it's called Chekhov's gun. 19th century mint condition. Found it in the wings. The benefit of having pockets.
You're bluffing. It can't be loaded.
Counterexample. I never bluff.
Oh no, don't shoot. I have so much to die for.
Now, on the subject of jokes, how do you treat a gorilla with a gun?
What?
You heard me. How do you treat a fucking gorilla with a gun?
I don't know.
If you don't know, think for once, think for yourself!
Oh, I still don't know.
With respect! You spineless little shit! Now tell me a single fucking thing you did for yourself!
I'm not going to like it.
Why would I ask the question if I didn't want to hear an answer?
After they buried you, or what was left of you?
Yes, what happened?
I started doing maths again.
What?
I don't know, it was like the curse had lifted over me.
I just know you missed me.
I didn't mean it like that. I started having ideas. Ideas of my own.
What were they about?
I managed to disprove the Bourbaki Barnett.
Speak up!
I managed to disprove the Bourbaki Barnett theorem.
You're lying.
I'm sorry.
I said you're lying!
I can assure you I'm telling the truth.
No, you're lying. You lie so much, it's like breathing so much, you've even convinced yourself it's true.
what I say.
No. No, I don't believe it. It's you or me again.
What do you mean?
It was all you or me. When we got married, when we got jobs at the department, when we chose a place to stay, whether to have children, it was all you or me. We weren't in love. We were competing for the same space. We went on to university, then PhDs, academia, awards. It was you or me. Never both. And then we came back into each other's lives again, and it broke things in half. We never learned to share. Everything in the house was either yours or mine. It was like we were preparing. It was like we were preparing for a divorce. We cut everything in half. We cut our lives in half. We cut each other in half. It was you or me. It was never us. Don't you see what I'm saying?
I don't know what you expected to do. Someone was bound to find out eventually.
But that means it's now.
Bernoulli's counterexample.
So all this time, I've been arguing with Martin over nothing?
You're doing the wrong thing for all the wrong reason, though. That's a first.
So there's nothing left to remember me by?
No, I wouldn't say
Be
that.
honest with me. Is there anything left to remember me by?
Not a job.
It's strange. All this time I was building this beautiful, brilliant idea. This concept echoing in my head, getting louder
Louder.
and faster.
Right.
And then nothing. Reminds me of this story about a man who finds his life too full. So he talks to the rabbi, who asks him to buy a new fridge. He comes back, saying his life is even more cluttered. So he asks him to buy a new sofa. And it keeps going. New house, new sofa, new car, new job. And then he says, give everything you've got away. I used to feel like I could have amounted to something. But now I just feel like I've been burning through time.
I feel like I've been out of date since I was born.
That isn't how you really feel.
I mean it. I was supposed to die first, Emmy.
It doesn't matter what was supposed to happen. It's happened now. There's nothing more and nothing less.
21, 40, 59. Perfectly evenly spaced at the funerals. Auspicious in a way.
One should always go to your friends' funerals. Saves them from having to go to yours.
I know us wanted to go to Martin's. When you have 2 stars, everything is nice and predictable. I mean, we can foretell exactly how planets will dance around each other. As soon as you add a third, it's chaos.
And after one was flung out of the galaxy, we went back to being a boring 2-star system.
Even the brighter stars must die at some point.
The brighter they burn, the faster they go. You know, you were terrible to Martin. I mean, really, truly terrible.
I was. I remember in that final exam, we both argued so much about winning that final place. And Lomachevsky wouldn't tell us our grades, only that we were 1 mark away from each other. And we were tearing at each other's throats.
It doesn't matter who won. Neither of you made that final position.
Because you did.
I know. Remember that surprise party we had at the end of camp?
You mean when Martin told me to come for a surprise and just left me there waiting? And waiting. And waiting.
Come to think of it, those maths camps were a lot less fun than we remember them to be.
Was that waiting? After you died, that's really all I was doing. Waiting. Watching. I could have been cheating death for how still I was. Like a possum. I always wondered why people would fake their own death. So, what happens when they actually die? Do people even care? And after you died, I wondered. What if you're just pretending? Sleeping? Just waiting for someone to come say, it's okay. You can wake up now.
Ignoring the rodent analogy, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Why can't we try again? Us, I mean.
Daniel, no.
Why not?
You know why not.
We've got all the time in the world, so there's not really anything to stop us. We can try to work things out and patch things up.
Because with an infinite amount of time, we'd end up repeating our mistakes. We know the ending because it's written from the beginning. I mean, did you hear us back there? We barely listened to each other.
I think the only reason you ever fell in love with me is because you wanted someone to fix.
Can I just ask you one final thing?
Fire on. Oh, not literally. Go on.
How did you know about the 19 years, 1 month, 17 days, and 6 hours? I never mentioned it to you.
Because, Emmy, that's how long I've been waiting in the wings. I'll see you around.
Goodbye, Daniel.
Hello again.
And to you.
A long time no see.
Exactly what I was about to say.
We should get the game going. And considering it's your move, I think it would be best for both of us if you were to take it.
All right. Give me a second. Be patient with me.
Patience? I always thought patience was the most vastly overrated virtue. Why wait for something tomorrow when you could have done it yesterday? Besides, we don't have forever.
Hold on. This one's tricky. Here's an idea. Why don't we swap sides?
Well, we could try, but I don't think you'd like it. I mean, less dithering. It's your move.
Well, we have been here for 19 years, 1 month, 17 days, and 6 hours.
I know. What's your point?
I just don't think another 5 minutes is going to hurt.
A drop of water to the ocean.
How disgustingly poetic.
Better than disgustingly prosaic. God, I need a smoke. Much.
A noxious weed and a filthy novelty, as old King James used to say. He was on the right track.
You've always been like this. Remember when you hid my cigarettes?
Just at the time I took the cigarettes out of the boxes and replaced them with sticks of chalk. That was priceless.
Priceless? It was rather pricey. You just had to meddle with things that were none of your business.
I think it very much is my business when I have to breathe it in too. God, foul stuff. Sticks with a flame at one end and a fool at the other.
Don't get a twist about it. It reminds me of this poem, anyway. A mathematician confided, a Mobius strip is one-sided, but you'll get quite a laugh when you slice one in half, for it stays in one half when divided. Oh my god.
We've been swapped.
We're on the wrong sides of the board, too.
I don't think it matters, does it?
I suppose not. It gives me a good idea for a game.
Spare me.
Mobius strip chess.
How do you play?
Every time you lose a piece, you have to take off an item of clothing and put it back on inside.
That will never catch on.
Well, at least I don't have to smoke anymore.
In any case, we should probably get on with this chess game if it kills us.
It's a divine intervention to finish it at this point. Hold on a second.
What?
I think we've been here before.
What do you mean?
This position. I have a feeling we've been here before. Several times, as a matter of fact.
So that means...
So,
neither of us have won.
that's anticlimactic.
Now tell me God doesn't have a sense of humor.
Okay. Coming around to your way of thinking.
Well, it has been 19 years, 1 month, 17 days.
6 hours.
Haven't worked out what that means, by the way. I feel like I'm going mad, all these patterns streaking through nothingness.
19 years. 1 month. 17 days. 6 hours. Oh my god! I think I've got it!
What is it?
It's 10 million minutes!
Well, happy 10 million minute anniversary.
And to you. You know, on paper, it looks like a long time, but it doesn't really feel like we've done much with it.
You know, I'm sorry.
Whatever for?
For arguing, for wasting our time.
Me too. You still gotta resolve that. Emmy, what's wrong?
I'm sorry.
Whatever for?
I was talking to Daniel.
So have I. What did he say to you?
He's disproven our theorem.
So it's now...
Retracted. Erased. Struck off.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I didn't want to tell you.
No. You were right to tell me. It is what it is.
You remember what Professor Lobachevsky said? When everyone else has been forgotten, we still remember mathematicians. Kings and queens might rise and fall away, but we still remember Pythagoras, Euler, Lovelace. It was a good feeling while it lasted. But it doesn't matter anymore. I have nothing left to prove, not even myself.
They said I could have been remarkable.
Believe me, you were. We all were.
Remember that thing you once said? One should be either young or dead. Remember?
Dorothy Parker.
Well, I remember thinking, young or dead. Why choose?
The end was already decided for you. You know, I've always wanted to know, what was the last thing that you saw?
Well, making me live once through my death is cruel. Twice is just callous.
I'm curious. 19 years, and you never once mentioned it.
Don't think you're going to believe this.
I can believe anything, provided it isn't possible.
Well, it's the aeroplane no smoking sign.
Pull the other one.
Seriously. It's a strange feeling though. Falling. When you're falling, and then you know you're going down. You're perfectly still. Calm. Because everyone else is just falling with you. Consciousness fading out. I mean, we could be falling now, for that matter. We never know. Just remember looking out the window and seeing the birds falling upwards. Upwards. And then that sign. And that was it.
It's strange to think we worry so much about it happening, and then, well, it happens.
It's always made me wonder, when was the last time you could have saved yourself? When was your last possible chance for salvation? When you could have changed things? I mean, when was your event horizon?
I don't think I could have ever been saved.
Don't say that.
No, don't worry. I knew. I accepted that one day I was going to be the death of me, whether deliberately or by accident. But I think I know when it was for me.
Go on. Tell me.
It was at the airport. And I was seeing you off. The moment I let you go.
Don't say that.
Oh, it's true. I couldn't live with myself knowing what I'd done.
You did no such thing.
It was brave of you to die like that.
Die like what?
Facing forwards. You know, in chess, there's a name for it. It's called a hero's mate.
You know, maybe if I died facing forwards, it's time to stop looking backwards.
But if time is cyclical, surely looking forwards and backwards are the same
I'm
thing.
just sick and tired of all these questions. I think we've been asking the wrong one this entire time.
What do you mean?
About miracles. All the time asking about belief, doubt, Bourbaki, Barnett, you, or me. But I don't think that's enough. There has to be another option The right answer starts where the right question ends. And I don't think the right question is about whether miracles exist. It's whether we need them. Do we need a God who delights in sleight of hand? Some kind of cosmic joker?
Isn't that a bit of a cop-out, though?
No, I don't think so. Remember when Daniel snuck into Lobachevsky's room on the night before the final exam to find the answers? He didn't need to. He would have done perfectly well without them. But he lived for the rest of his life, knowing that he cheated his way through and had never worked it out for himself. We don't need a miracle. We just need ourselves. I don't want to know the answer. First, I reject the question. You have to work it out for yourself. Maybe Hardy was right. Sometimes a mathematician must just throw the whole game.
What are you doing? Sweet Mary, Mother of Jesus!
Oh my fucking God!
I am terribly sorry to have given you such a shock. Well, would you look at the time? You'll excuse me, I must be going.
That's a fucking fast. Been here all along?
I think so. 19 years, 1 month, 17 days, and 6 hours, or something like that.
Who are you exactly?
Well, I go by lots of names. Waiting, dreams, sleep, boredom, entropy. Now that's one of my favorites, but usually I go by time.
Okay, yeah. And were you watching us this whole time?
Well, I suppose I have. How time flies.
Must be exhausted waiting for us.
Don't worry. I've had far longer waits in my time.
Such as?
I have to wait for the universe to get going. So long.
Really? You were around before then?
Never a day without time. It was so dark, I didn't really have much to do. I didn't even know what light was, but once it went, boom, it was beautiful. Yeah, you should have been there. It was like drinking liquid starlight.
I wish I could have seen that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's alright. You get used to it, actually. Part of the day job. But, you know, if you sit and you listen very, very carefully, you can actually hear the universe expanding. At the bottom, like a low rumble, a kind of throb. Like rhubarb growing. And at the top you can hear the sound of light hitting your eyes. A faint glow that depends on the color.
Really?
Yes. It's all been there. Just no one's ever bothered to listen out for it.
What's the universe really like? Beyond here, I mean.
It's just wonderful. And it's been missing you since the day you both left.
What about the chess clock?
And Daniel.
And the swap? Were all those miracles?
Those are miracles. All of this is happening somewhere in here and in here.
So, none of this is real.
Well, it's from the dream of a dream, within a dream, dream of light.
So we're asleep.
Yes, probably. Anyway, death and dreams, I could never tell them apart.
So none of this, none of the 19 years really matters?
I never said that. Just because it isn't real doesn't mean it doesn't matter. In a way, it matters most of all.
How so?
Because it can be anything you want it to be. God, look at you. You're both so young.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, really, you're like children. really been a lie. It is a miracle you ever were, though. Most things would give anything to be alive. To think, to feel, to hear, to see, to talk, to be quiet.
I mean, in a way, we have to thank you.
What for?
Well, for starters, for music. Why would music be without time?
That is true. And I have always been partial to a bit of Bach. You know, all those fugues with the voices coiling around and around. Oh, small moments like that are worth waiting for.
So, why us?
What do you mean?
Why us? If you've got everything to watch over, all the most beautiful things in the universe, why would you spend 19 years waiting with us?
Well, I suppose time also needs to learn patience. And besides, I would not miss it for anything. It is the most beautiful thing in the universe. Better than watching stars come into life.
What is?
Watching two people be brought back together.
Seriously, that's why we're here, to be reconciled?
Yes. Do you really think it was about winning?
Well, yes, to be honest.
No. No, that's not how it's supposed to be at all.
Well, how is it supposed to be?
It was to get you to have enough time to make up. It's about time, really. In the end, it's all about time.
Seriously, that's it?
Well, I suppose so. It is it, actually.
Not exactly.
So, after all of this, what happens now?
Well, you see, I don't know.
You don't know? What do you mean, you don't know?
I guess it's as good as mine. I only really know the present. I can't remember the past or predict the future. I'm just here to watch. I'm not even supposed to be doing this right now. Well, would you look at the time? If you'll excuse me, I should probably be going.
Oh, but wait. Do you have to go so soon?
Yeah. Can you not stick around a bit longer?
You don't need me anymore. You've beaten time. You can do without me from now on. Now, good day. Or good night. I don't know. That's the trouble with the windowless room. And remember, the best is always yet to come.
So, that's it then. It's so strange. I always thought I'd be glad to see you go. But I'm really gonna miss you.
I know. But I think it's meant to be. What's for us will not go by us.
All this time, I've been thinking, what if the solution has been under our noses the entire time? What if we've already known the answer?
I think we already have all the answers. Now we've just got to do the working. Oh my god.
What is it?
Look up!
This is one of your tricks. Oh my god. It's a bird.
No, it's a plane!
No, it's...
Oh god. It's a napkin. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is it?
Oh, it can't be.
Stop saying that and tell me!
That's it! It's everything we've been looking for!
You don't mean the Remus hypothesis?
Take a look for yourself!
Emmy.
That's it. That's everything. The show's over. It's solved.
Emmy.
I can't fucking believe it. 19 years and you were looking at the wrong thing this entire
No, Emmy.
time. It's beautiful.
It's a counterexample.
What? No, it isn't.
Look here, it's a counterexample. We've been wrong all along. Construction of a zero off the critical line. We've been duped.
No. This is a proof. All written out here, written by the gods. Oh my god, I got fucking the problems worthy of attack. Proof they're worthy.
What are you talking about?
Problems worthy of attack. Proof they're worth by fighting back.
Emmy, what are you doing?
It's impossible. The solution is immune to burning. It's the real thing.
My god. It's an actual miracle. I can't fucking believe it.
What?
Remember? We've spent years working on this. We gave up so much to see a solution, and all we get is some stagey Deus Ex Machina. All we deserve is some cheap trick of the like.
We could do so much with this. There's whole new kinds of mathematics to understand that the world hasn't even seen yet.
What use is this if we haven't done it ourselves? Besides, we see two different things. We never agree on who's right. It's useless.
Do we always have to agree on everything? We could do so much with this. We could teach everyone.
Emmy! We're dead!
Or maybe time was right. Maybe we're just dreaming.
If we're dreaming, then won't we forget all this in the morning?
We will. Wasn't it just beautiful while it lasted?
Suppose it was. Really, really beautiful.
Martin, I just want to tell you about this story that I think about from time to time.
No?
The scene opens with a drunkard. And they're searching for something. We never know what. His keys, his wallet, the solution to some maths problem. It doesn't matter what. The point is, he's on the streets, searching in the dark, because it's nighttime, and he needs to look now. He can't wait till morning. he only looks where he can make out any scrap of light. Street lights, neon signs, torches, cigarette lighters, and he's looking everywhere he possibly can. But you see, sometimes looking everywhere you can isn't enough, because that's just half the picture. Sometimes there's something that we don't see, some variable that we happen to miss, and when you lose that, things fall apart. We can't see everything. It's like speaking without knowing, like thinking without seeing, like talking without ever really listening. But sometimes, the drunkard sees something in the dark. He sees something beyond the grasp of his pickled brain, something inexplicable and beautiful, gleaming impossibly in the dark. And you might think that it's some miracle, some sign or symbol, some memory that might have slipped through his mind that he can't understand, but he has that belief within him. And sometimes, that blind faith is enough to see what you need to see. But you have to find it first. There's a word for it. Oh. You know, Martin, I want to move forward in life. I don't just want it, I need it. We all do. But sometimes, you just gotta sit around here, talking, arguing, dreaming in the dark. And it's funny, because all we ever needed was someone to stand there and turn on the light.